Good morning. Greetings, sweet, sweet dear ones. Good morning, Rebecca. If it's morning for you or evening. Hi, Jean. Greetings to you in South Africa. Brilliant. Just take a moment here while we invite others to join us right here watching. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Marie. Coming to you live from the Tiny Bird Portal. Tiny Bird Portal here in Hamburg, Germany. Okay, just a brief visit with you. So just allow some more to come along here. Yeah, you've got a 555 there, Rebecca. Fantastic. Hit those numbers, hit the numbers, hit the big numbers. Yeah, big changes, big numbers are big changes. Yeah. Fantastic. We're going live to Facebook channel, my Facebook page, and also YouTube. A little bit jumpy. I don't know if you noticed, but all our technology has been pretty jumpy lately, right? And rightly so, because we really need things to collapse. We want things to collapse. It's quite all right, so they can be built up again. Yeah, so collapse the things so they can be built up, right? Just place those there so I can see better. Good morning, Lazarus. Wawa Esther. Greetings to you in Michigan, wherever you are. Hi there, Tamaake, Huna Tamaake in the house. We're at numbers 27 right now. Right now seems like a good time of the day. Coming to you from the CET, 7 hours ahead of Eastern Time, USA. I believe 9 hours ahead of PST, and certainly in sync with those in Europe and the UK. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good journeying to you all. Okay, let me just start up here. Wow, amazing intel coming out from, let me say, the pores of the beast. Let me say, coming out of the pores of the skin pores and the cells of the beast, of those who are of the beastie. Yeah, of those who are of the beastie. And of course, we are happy to see the announcement of Elizabeth's, let's say, Elizabeth's passing, at least in the media. Although we know she was taken out 2 years ago. Yeah, but the announcement is timely for the release of these this intelligence that's being released out of the pores of the beast. Double check, see if I'm good. I'm on it. I'm right in the middle of it. So let me just check that I'm not being interfered with over there. Anyway, so like I was saying, we know that Elizabeth was taken out 2 years ago, replaced by the doubles and the clones. You know this in the way that Donald Trump reacted to the way he was reacting to that one time when he walked in front of her. He knew that woman that he walked in front of wasn't Elizabeth. It was a double. The same way he knew that when he walked in front of Charles and didn't even shake his hand. He was shaking the hands of the generals. Maybe I shared this already, and you've seen it already, but let's just reiterate this, okay? It's just get this energy in the right place right now, because the way the liberation energies is coming through from the pores of the beast, it's starting to sweat. It's sweating buckets, right? So just to reiterate that and put that in the field right now as we move from the Namu Motu and we move into the Tower of the Golden Fleece, the Kirihi Motu. Now, I was watching Hunamareka's video, and I'm very pleased to see how he has, let's just say, become more aware and getting more clarity and being more connected and fine-tuning his mission, fine-tuning his work to his current, let me say, reality. Yeah, his current modalities in his doing that. Seem to be losing signal here. To align to his current physical attributes and his physical abilities, meaning how to show up, his physical ability to show up in a certain place and do the work. He's been doing wonderful, incredible work with Lucy, but also he is now. No, I share that about him, but I'm also talking about all the Hunas and all those who are out there doing the light work. You are fine tuning in. You are more aware than you ever were. Planet Matea is far more advanced than Gaia ever was, and that has to be spoken. I'm putting that right in the energy field right now because of the work that's been done with the stargates and the activation of the Lemurian constellations overriding the draconian system with the Wataka. I'm going to put that right there now, okay? Because I really feel that people can begin to speak the Wataka, people can begin to receive this and bring it into themselves, overriding the draconian zodiacs, because it actually matters. It's about confusion and about confusing the populations. I'm not about confusing, right? I'm about revealing the remembering and bringing the awareness. I'm about that's what I do. Sometimes I use pressure to do that. Okay, and what it ultimately does is sets a fire under your pants, and you go off and you do the things. And this is exactly what's happening with many, and it's been happening. It's taken some years to put that pressure in and become recognized as authentic. Now I see that everybody is becoming very authentic. This is incredible. As you're becoming more authentic, you're fine tuning your modalities and you are fine tuning your speaking, right? You're fine tuning your speaking. What's going on here? Yeah, you're fine tuning your ceremonies, your connection, much like Huna Mareka and like many, and certainly the Hunas who are sealed and aligned together. And when they are sealed and aligned together, this is not a blockage, by the way. This seal is an acronym for Source Element Ascension Light. I keep the seal there because I'm revealing the Source Element Ascension Light, in case you're wondering. And the Hunas that are aligned to this are aligned to the Stargate systems, the birthing systems of Lemuria 5, because we guaranteed Lemuria 5 would return, and it has. Big time. Big time. I have to say, big time. Because a whole new set of constellations can now replace the draconian. I want you to speak these things, learn these things, share these things, right? Fine tuning, more authenticity, genuine, and then your field expansion is greater. Okay, so what is happening here? Because the Kirihi Motu, right, is about to come in. 28 days of each month for the Lemurian Wataka. Try to remember that. He's switching 28 days now. And this alignment is super powerful because it's very precise. You talk about fine tuning, it's very precise. These can be felt at the Stargates if you wish to attend them and if you're curious about it, I'll share that with you if you want to come with me. But let's just say, I'm just saying, these are these are happening right now with the release and the collapse of the energies, not of abundance, but the energies of the energies that support and allow a high value, valuable, a high, let me say, an increased value of living, increased values. It's not increased quantity of finances, it's increased value, right? It's quality and value, not quantity. Now, that is coming back around now. That is starting to happen. We're looking at October for that to be very public. Okay. And so why I'm doing this follow-up with you is because the constellations of Lemuria, the stargates, and the Motu grid are bringing in this energy. It is bringing in this awareness to everyone, awakening so many. If it were not, then if you were with the draconian, then you are asleep. And if you're kind of awake and kind of asleep, that's draconian. Okay, that's the purpose of the draconian system, is to keep you sleeping. It means they hold you into a 10-strand DNA, which cuts off the higher functions of your consciousness, keeps you into that sleep mode. That's known as the Kabbalah. Okay, it's also known as the Ashkenazi and the Khazarian Mafia, the Anunnaki and the Archon codes of these essences to hold you into that. So I'm sharing the Lemurian Wataka with you to break you out of that. All you have to do is speak it. You got to learn it to speak it. So once you start learning it, you're integrating. And when you start speaking it, you're of it. Because it's going to get a hold of you and break you out and crack everything open. So I'm following up on this with you as we are moving into the release of these liberation and energies of opportunity for you, and a higher quality of living, not quantity, but quality, thereby revealing that everything for everyone, everywhere, every day will lead to needing very little. You will need very little. Why? Because you have everything. And if not everything, most of everything, if not most of everything, a higher quality and a higher value of living. That is coming. So I wanted to share that with you and reiterate that and put that in your consciousness daily routine and remind you of this. Now, Mel Boha speaking, Lemurians are the ones who fought the reptilians 12,500 years ago. No quitting. Oh, that's only one moment, Mel. Yeah, the Lemurians, we have walked this planet for over 600 million years. So if you want to learn, that is a good comment, because we actually, as giant beings, and I could share the locations of all 4 Lemurias with anybody if you care to listen, or if you care to go to the webinars I have. I put them there so you can receive the information. I'm not going to be sitting there with you all day long, every day. Are you kidding me? I got stuff to do, right? So yeah, the Lemurians are the ones who fought them. Now, the Lemurian dragons, the creator dragons of Lemuria created the Draconians. They were created by the Lemurian creator dragons. So just stick that in the field there. And they became in different versions, in different ways, through free will of what their essences became: Draconian, Archon, Anunnaki, these kinds of energies. And those are energies and essences, by the way. Those are not nations or star nations. Those are essence, aspects, energies of the Draconian nations. So just put that in the foreground, okay, for a moment. But know that they have been defeated many times, and not just one time, and not just 12,000 years ago, just recently. All right, just recently has been another one, and also millions of years ago. Okay, the Orion Wars of a quarter of a million years ago, and the Orion Wars and the Lyran Wars over 65 million years ago. Yeah, it's been happening. All right, put that in the field. Know that what's remaining with the beast is that they are sweating buckets out of the beastie pores, right? And what's remaining of those beasts here on the planet, those beastie energies. Okay, not beastie. Okay. So sharing the liberation and energies of opportunity. Liberation begets opportunity. Everything for everyone, everywhere, every day. I've always said that to you, and I've spoken of that as E times 4 equals MC cubed, right? MC cubed mean all encompassing, all right? All surrounding all of you. So that energy to surround you, look at that energy, look at that light. There's a bit of light for you from the tiny bird portal of the tiny bird where I am. And that portal's in that tree right behind me, right there. You see that tree right there? Perhaps you can catch it. Let me just give you the opportunity to check it out for a second. I can see it from here. I can see it. There it is. It's almost circular and it's tiny. Right? We've witnessed and heard sounds coming from that portal that are not from creatures not from this earth. Certainly not even from this area. There's some powerful energy. Look at that. Light expanding. Hello. Hello, sweet dear ones. Okay, so doing this follow-up with you. Of course, there's so much to follow up on. It's increasingly, rapidly populating every nanosecond of my moment here, certainly yours. Yes, Tamake, the wee beasties, wee beasties. Yeah. In terms of the intel that's being dropped right now, banks are closing down. And what's remaining, they're switching over to a different style of service, which means they have to comply to even be of service, and they have to comply to certain qualifications, right? Whether that's gold-backed, asset-backed, and they are no longer able to receive fiat currency. So the word is that the banks and the central bank itself is no longer receiving pallet loads of US dollars that are just paperweights, that they have no value. And so the Federal Reserve is no longer printing, and the Treasury is no longer shipping the US dollar to the central banks. Can you believe that? That's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing, because with the central banks, that's how they survive. They take that money and they do other stuff in other countries, and yeah, there's corruption. So that is no longer possible, because since last Tuesday they were expecting a delivery to the central banks, and none of them have received any of their US dollars, right? Because there isn't any left. What's remaining is being taken out of the system. We switched over to the United States Treasury note, or let's just say the rainbow dollar, okay, which the rainbow dollar supports the liberation and opportunity energies for humanity. Nisara, Jasara, reevaluation of the currencies, and the true global reset of humanity, which is a humanitarian project. That's what it is. It's the global reset is a humanitarian project for all of humanity, not just a one world power in a monopolar consciousness that is so far below multi dimensions. It's impossible to see. So tiny beasties. Okay. Now, who are you talking to, Paula? I don't trust this guy. What guy are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Not sure who you're talking about. Are you trolling me, Paula? Can anybody see this message? Who's Paula talking about? I don't trust this guy. Paula doesn't even know me. If she's talking about me, she had no idea. So this is probably a troll coming in here. And you know what they are? The trolls are the little beasties. They work for the tiny beasties who are sweating bullets right now. So if Paula is a troll, Paula's sweating bullets right now. So if anybody can comment on that, go ahead, or even chase Paula around and find out what's going on there. Paula doesn't trust this guy. Are you talking to me? Because so many people sit with me in person, fly all around the world to sit with myself and others, and obviously do trust me. So you are misinformed, Paula, and you are obviously of fear, full of fear. Go around saying things like that. Who goes around saying they don't trust anybody? People who don't trust themselves. These are people who don't have any care to do any humanitarian work for people, for the planet. Yeah. So this is yes. There you go. Chase that Paula around and find out who that troll is, if you don't mind, while I sit here and chat with you. Okay. So Paula obviously doesn't know me and doesn't know anything, right? Obviously, a tiny beastie. Now, for Paula and all the trolls and all those tiny beasties out there, sweating buckets, right? Here's the download, okay? Now, people are talking about contracts for the souls and the souls of light and disconnecting and changing the contracts and making deals. Now, I'm going to Mongolia very soon, right? Now, that is the reason why I'm going, because we are helping to support 22 billion souls to enter into the light system, okay? Enter into the light system. And so that ceremony to take place in Mongolia is in the Gobi Desert, supported by Shambhala. Okay, Shambhala has always been in the Gobi Desert, has not been in Tibet. Not Tibet. There is a connection to Tibet, but the main stargate, the apex stargate of Shambhala, is in the Gobi Desert, and we have known for years. The Lama knew, the Bindi masters knew, we knew, and we had been getting the messages. And now there are starships, so many starships, so much support that are coming to help the souls come from the dark places, and some very dark souls that are now asking for the light and are willing to come forth and willing to make that leap. Okay, they still have very powerful dark energy, so you have to be very your capacity and your light must be very strong. Okay, you must have that ability within your humanity, within your human self, to bring your full self in here on the ground. Be fully aligned to your higher self here right now. If you're going to come with me to Mongolia, or if you're going to be connected to that level of work, and maybe in something you're going to do in your mission, right? So I have to reiterate this. The ceremony and the process that we are working with in Mongolia is spoken of as Sahih Uru. Sahih Uru. It is also the name of the mountain there, okay? The Lemurian name. There is a Mongolian sound, but we all know that Mongolia is sub-tribes of Lemuria. So when we go back to the Lemurian, the main tribe of Lemuria, the sound of that mountain is Sahih Uru. Now, Sahih Uru means to gather the highest intentions of the first fire to allow it to enter. We hold it and return. And that process is going to happen a few times, maybe 1 million rotations in just a second. So many rotations that going to help the dark energy clear up, clean up, purify, and then also spin back around and enter again into the holding pattern within the crystal light of days, which is known as the Kumara, or otherwise known as also Ma'ita in the omnipresence, the crystal of the omnipresence. Okay, so there's so much that I just dropped right there. And there are so many stories about the Gobi Desert. Okay, but if you are interested and you want to know for sure, for real, come with me. As I have said to many, to the stargates, come with me, show up. You can try to do these things in spirit remotely, but I will share with you the gifts that come from showing up. And I understand the value and the cost. That's not what I'm not concerned about value, about the cost of things. I'm talking about showing up. I'm not judging you for anything, but I will put the pressure on. And I know what the gift comes, what the gifts you receive, right? From some things, these types of let me say sharings and showing up this way. Trust me, it's incredible, right? Such a listen. So this releasing of the energies and the calling of the souls, and the calling of the souls to be coming in, which is what the Sahih Uru does. It's a very powerful geometric formation footprint on the ground aligned to the footprint above, right, which is constellational. So the Motu constellations are in full action here, and they're aligned. The constellation to the constellation on the ground are aligned to the constellation above, and so there is a lot of understanding to do there. There is a lot of sharing knowledge and wisdom that for you to pick up. But I'm just going to hit it with you, just hit with it right now in the way that I'm speaking this. Yeah, Mr. May, he. No, this is not English, so it's not an he like he. It's hi. Okay, and it is udu, which is uru, udu, which means to enter and return. Okay, to enter and return. Yes, Mel, we know all these things. We can Google all of that, and that's of no concern right here. Right, the Tatarians to protect themselves from China, blah 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 blah. That's all just nonsense stuff. That's not where we're beyond all that kind of history right now. That's not what this call is about. Get on the page with me here. I'm talking about 22 billion souls being released into our care to those who will be standing on location in Mongolia at the Gobi Desert during the process of the Sahih Uru. Okay, and the result is called Ni Marana. Ni Marana means undistorted light before confusion. Okay, simply that. That's Lemurian. Okay, and so we are not talking about the Great War. We are not talking about Tartarians, and those things are all just long gone. Okay, so get past all that, because that comes from the periods of the Draconian. And we are on planet Matea right now, Mel. We're not on Gaia anymore. All right, so you really got to jump in here and take some of these sounds and speak them. Sahih Uru. Okay, Sahih Uru. Yes, Mr. May. I'm very adamant about this, because anybody that's going to show up and work with me on this particular in this particular mission is going to show up. You have to be, number one, sealed. Number two, you have to be very diligent and alive and mindful and aware, and carry your load and capacity. Anything you're going to proclaim is going to be tested. We will test. I will test it. The location will test it. You will be tested. So I know that being sealed and being aligned to it this way on the ground, I can guarantee you will make it home safe. Okay? If you're going to be making proclamations that you cannot back up, then I'm still going to say, okay, if you come and you don't make it all, and you don't make it home 100% without being fractured, then that's on you. Okay? So you cannot BS around here. And it is not just about love and light. It's so much more. The wisdom and knowledge that holds the energy, vibration, frequency, and magnetics. You have to receive some of these protocols and modalities and speak them to be aligned to what the Sahih Uru is about to do and what we're about to hold. Okay? We will be constructing. We are constructing the geometry, which is known as the Sahih Uru. And it does involve the Tonato Ke Waho Wahi. For you don't know what that is, and those that do are Hunas. But if you don't know what that is, I will invite you to learn that. Okay, you cannot Google it. So you only one way to learn it. Tonato Ke Waho Wahi is also known, held as the four pillars, anchored by Tingita. Okay, the four pillars, which are also spoken of as Tingita. Now, there's a lot there I just said. Right. So there is a whole lot to get through. You can feel your way through this all you want, but I want to guarantee this. So feeling is just not enough. I need you to be of action in this. Okay. Be of action. This is light in action. The Hunas are not names. They are nameless. The Hunas are expressions of light in action. Huna Mauta Kumarataki, light in action essence refers to let there be light. Okay, exactly. It is not English. It is not translated for English. It is what it is. Nah, it's before Atlantis. Anything after Atlantis, well, it's distorted. That means everything, every language spoken and flag that was raised after Atlantis is a distorted concept, distorted perceptions. You know this. I know this. So everything is spoken in Lemurian. Okay, everything. It's 600 million years in its understanding, and it's the most ancient. of the crystal light of days, not the ancient of days, the ancient crystal light of days. So all of this is in there. I'm being very adamant about this, and I am not kidding around. Okay, this what's coming here in a minute. We're going to be heading to Mongolia, and you have to sign up. The sign up is October 9 is the deadline to sign up, and then we arrive in Mongolia. We actually fly into Ulaanbaatar on October 17th. Then we make our way down to Dalanzaga, another flight from Ulaanbaatar to Dalanzaga. We get our accommodations. We have a whole nother day for gathering and going over the ceremony, walking through everything, okay, listening to your proclamations, trying to understand your proclamations and your and the pumping up of the self, and then also the letting down of the self to be beyond the self. This is service beyond self always. Okay. So you cannot be stingy on this one. You got to let it all go, right? Not just a little bit. All of it's got to come out, right? All of it's got to happen. I'm not kidding around here. All right. So, excuse me for being so passionate, but I'm going to be. Tonight, I make my way home to the Playa of Light to Mexico. I go, I hit the ground running. I've got a number of things to do. So the follow-up on what I'm doing is I'm switching my whole website technology over to a new system that is integrated and will support this upgrade in the energies, because I'll tell you, technologies have been crashing out. As you know, systems are collapsing. The follow-on services are not there. And so I've been having trouble with people trying to sign in and log in and different things on my website, and I realized that that's what's going on. So working on the new system. When I hit the ground right there, going to go hard, and look forward to checking in. I have an interview on Friday with Katie Rain and Nikki and Kevin Hoyt, the new Huna, and what they're doing. So I look forward to seeing you, and maybe you seeing us and checking in. Also have some interviews coming up with Catherine Edwards, again, wonderful person who is wanting to be sealed, and she's setting up an appointment to be sealed. Okay. Any questions? And I'm not going to answer any trolls, but anybody have any other questions? Maybe there's questions I've missed. We just scroll down here and see. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for all the kind words, everybody. Yeah. Let's just confusion is such a dark space. Well, absolutely, Sean. That's the creation of memory loss. You know how they lock you out of your memory is by confusing you in the beginning. That's how it starts. So that's what the draconian Gregorian operating system was all about. So is there a question here? So lots of love from Greece. Thank you, brother. I have activated the door of the child in Athens, Greece, quite a few years ago now. Getting lined up to reintroduce myself back into Greece soon enough. Question from Kim Measle. How can we learn of new constellations if we are so-called? Any suggestions? Yeah, I have them coming up on the courses on my system. You cannot Google what I'm sharing, but you can align, and there will be confirmations. And so you can sign up to the Dragon Masters course, which is more in depth. There's some upgrades coming to that, but that you can sign up and just and get lined in and be prepared. You can also take the webinars that I have, and I have a lot of free information on my YouTube channel, right? So, yeah, that's where you can sign up, hoh.earth, right? Go over there and check it out. Thank you very much. That's a good question. Paul Harris, where are these 22 billion coming from? All over the universe, Paul, out of the lower dimensions of Saturnia and Jupiter, also coming from the ice on this planet. Billions of souls are in ice here and in the dirt, okay, and in the mud. Yes, and from many other star systems as well. But there's a lot more than 22 billion, ladies and gentlemen. There's hundreds and hundreds of billions who will be processing through this planet, because frankly, this planet is going to become Central Sun Grand Station railway station of it already is, but let me say, um, the liberation and opportunity energy is going to bring forth so many from out of the contracts that they made, and just they are going to come from their hearts. Even the dark ones are gonna find their heart on this and come into it because they want love too, right? They want love too, and they were shown at some stage, and I was a part of working with the Bindi masters out of the Tao Society in Tibet to show them what love is. At least we gave it a good shot because we had to receive their dark energies as well from the Black Forest where we did the ceremony. So I'm not kidding. They are asking to bring to love, and also we were able to share some of that with them. And I think after all these years, it's taking its toll on them and starting to dig in, and they're becoming realized. Yeah, it's becoming realized to the realization. So the 22 billion souls, they many of them are from coming in from the 22 billion souls. Some that I may already know, some that you may already know, some celebrities, all right, some celebrity souls you may know. Just think about it. You've been many celebrities yourself. And Misty is saying, in a flash, it will happen. I hear absolutely, but and okay. My nickname is Huna Flash. Maybe you didn't know that. Okay, yeah. Let there be light, and as part of my code, so yes, it is going to happen in a flash. It is a primary and divine directive of the divine directors. Okay, we are directing this. Okay, and so yes. So there you go, Paul. They're coming in from many places. Okay, yeah, you see them in the land, in the land, the water, the sky, Paul. There's so many, and everyone's doing the work to assist them. There are a lot of fracturing going on, but I will share with you the modality in the kawa of the kawa te kawa or Sahih uru, right? The process that modality is essential to guaranteeing and fully containing the soul in its wholeness. In other words, bringing its fractures back to within the wholeness to become whole as we bring the souls to be held within the omnipresence of the crystal light of days to await an assignment to a womb, another, not just an agreement. Everybody wants to come in. There are no need for separate kind of individual deals and contracts. There's only one deal being made, one deal being made, and that's to come into the light of the crystal light of days, right? You must understand that. And there may be other iterations of being spoken of it, but in my mind, in my understanding, they're all coming in. Okay. Now, you catch them, help them, hold them, bring them to the light, or you don't. Right? That's simply it. Gary Tuttle asks, how would one who is experiencing physical pain from neurological muscle disorders may, through and with these energies, to leave behind the real experience in this dimension, to leave behind the real experience? Well, you know that the answer to that, Gary. You know the answer to that. How would one who is experiencing physical pain leave behind the real experience in this dimension? How would one leave it behind? You have to cry. You got to cry it out, Gary. And then you need guidance to help go to the deepest parts to remind you what all those tears were for, to help you let it go and leave it behind. A dragon ride program, Dragon Riders of Lemuria. A dragon ride will help you do that. And that has been very busy program lately. Just ask Mark Atwood and many others. Okay. Many of them have been experiencing the dragon ride. So Gary, experiencing the dragon riders of Lemuria. And when you're in it, you will understand why, and you won't understand how it's happening, but it will happen. And maybe you will understand, but you won't have words for it because we don't talk a hell of a lot. Okay, not in that process. Okay, so Nezi, thank you for sealing the White Lion Stargate in the city of. Absolutely, the Ma Tete, Upo Ma Tete. That is the original sound, Upo Ma Tete. Okay, it's long before Cape Town, long before Africa. Upo Matete comes from 400 million years ago in Lemuria 4, okay? Lemuria 3. And that is the languaging. Upo Matete, which means the white star lion's head, and it is a constellation of the Motu, of the continental constellation known as Upo Matete. Okay, there's further information on that I'm going to share with everybody soon enough. Hey, I'm going to go. It's it's been fun. It's 3:33 right now. Look at that, 15:33 here in CET. Of course, what a number to complete on. And I've been live for 41 minutes. Any last questions? Any last requests? Last questions before I bounce? Thank you for receiving me in the way that I have come here and the way that I am sharing. Thank you very much for following along. Go to hoh.earth, join up on the Dragon Masters, join up on the webinars, become a member of the House of Huna, and all things that are being shared through there. Meet the Hunas. You will be invited to join the Signal group with the Hunas, an incredible group of powerful individuals there, of powerful light in action, and being with them and making contacts and connections so that you perhaps may do other things with the Hunas separately. But go to hoh.earth and enjoy, okay? Anyway, that's it for me right now. I'll be seeing you live from the Playa of Light in Mexico, PDC, from where I live. And I look forward to getting more questions from you, all right? Hang in there. We're almost there, okay? Nezi, how may you contact me? You can contact me at hf@hoh.earth. HF as in Huna Flash. hf@hoh.earth. Okay? All right. Look forward to your messages. Look forward to seeing you all again soon. Wawa. Wawa. That's translated means aloha. Lemurian is wawa. We see you. Sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloved.